it sure would.
To get just a feel for the big room, you know.
I like to try to
That's
build
cool.
things that you
Like,
would actually you'd like to hang out in, if they were real.
heck yeah.
Oh, here comes the rain.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Oh, here comes the rain.
nice. You can see the drops hitting your window. That's cool.
Yeah, I see that.
That's neat. Your roof.
Wow.
The roof, the roof, the roof is
And
on
we're
fire.
live. Welcome, wonderful viewers and people of the internet, to the Somnium Show with WooferBlast and UltraLord. Joining us is the wonderful R-Dub, Nin Quiet, and Sea Searcher. Welcome, welcome everyone, welcome. Welcome to the Somnium
Sea
Show.
Searcher's in 2D. How come where's your VR, Searcher? Can't hear you either.
It's a little bit too dark in this room for
Yeah.
filming. You want to go into the other room?
That's a good idea. Let's do it. Over here,
Awesome.
guys. Let's go.
Forgot to charge the headset.
Oh yeah.
There's
Cool.
little
Welcome,
bit more light
guys,
in
to
here.
Chill Club,
Nice.
created by the awesome WooferBlast. What are we going to be discussing today, WooferBlast?
Creativity. And I think there's all sorts of creativity. There's the artistic creativity, which we all think about. But I think of different kinds of creativity, like the early pioneers when they just fought their way through the wilderness for weeks or months at a time and found a place and said, okay, I'm going to build a house. And they just built a house, all by themselves. They had an axe, maybe, maybe a couple other little tools, and they just built their own home. That always amazes me, how people could do that. That's creativity of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Also-
would you define
also-
creativity as?
I think it's the desire to make something, but make it better. Instead of just utilitarian, is that the word?
Yeah.
Instead of just making something useful, you make it a little bit more. You make it bigger, more decorative, or more imaginative. You just make it a little more. I think that's what creativity is. We're always striving to make things better, make them more attractive, make them more useful, things like that. I think that's all part of creativity, I think.
Wow, that's really interesting, man.
Something drives us to do that. I think it's in our makeup to be creative, because it's probably necessary, from the very beginning to keep improving things in our lives. Like if somebody invents a bow and arrow, you invent a better bow and arrow, or somebody invents or somebody has a celebration, we have people come in and make the celebrations more festive, more fun, more elaborate. So we're always finding the ways to beef things up, to make them more than they are.
Yeah.
I think that's what creativity is.
Fascinating, fascinating. Yeah. What do you think, Sea Searcher? What's creativity?
I think creativity is using your imagination to
Mm-hmm.
to build something or to make something. And as WooferBlast said, there is several kinds of creativity. A long time I believe there was just the artistic creativity and I'm, I can't sing, I can't dance, I I'm a poor painter. So I thought I was not creative for a very long time until somebody told me there is creativity also outside of the art. You can be
Mm-hmm.
creative in your work, building things, making things, finding solutions.
Yeah.
And as long as you use your imagination to get further, make steps and improve, I think that is a creativity.
Yeah.
So
I
it's-
agree
it's
with you guys there.
productivity plus imagination.
Yeah.
Yes.
What
I
do
like
you
to
say?
think of it
well
as
said, well said.
working within bounds to get a goal. And I think that's like the root of what creativity is. What do you think, Ardub? What's creativity?
Huh. I'm just wondering, listening to what you guys have had to say so far, I'd like to think it has something to do with being original as well.
Yo, what's up, DeNevero? The most original has entered. DeNevero. What's up? Yeah. What do you mean by
But
original?
it's hard to be original. I mean, like truly original, which is probably almost impossible.
But what
because
is
we're
it?
so influenced by
What does it
everything
mean?
that's been done before us. Like, I think how many musicians have made a song, but they've been influenced by all the other songs they've heard. So imagine what if there's like someone that never heard music and just stumbled upon a piano, like on a beach or something, and they start hitting the keys, and it's making sounds, and they just play with it for days and weeks and months, and then they start playing something. That would be an original song. But it'd be so hard to do that if you've heard other music. You'd be like, oh, that sounds like this song, and oh, that sounds, you know what I mean? Like, or even with visual arts or, engineering, math, whatever. Like everything else has influenced, like what we create now.
What do you think drives
to
us
say
to
that's
create
right or
something
wrong.
original? What do you think drives us to want to do that, to be original
feel
and
like
create something new?
For me, it's like an energy inside that I sometimes will get, and I know I have to make this. Like I'm excited. I'm almost
Yeah.
obsessed with this thing that I want to make, and it's almost like spiritual in a way that there's like something like higher than myself that's driving me to do this. Is that
You get a
resonate
real
with
good
you at all?
feeling from it too, from creating something. It's like, you put all your energy and thought and imagination into this project, whatever you're doing. I think there's a real enjoyment from that. There's a real self-satisfaction when you create something and it comes to life. And I think there's a lot of enjoyment out of creating something. Like
Yeah.
that.
It truly is enjoyable. What do you think, Nin Quiet? What's creativity?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Okay, I think that the creativity is like the ability to find new ways to get a solution. And you find these ways when it's like, what have you done in your life, your family, your culture, your society, all influences how you think, and how you think make you find new solutions. That's why when you want to find a new solution for something, but you can't find it, maybe doing something else different, then you find out suddenly the solution, like for example cooking or something like that. And it's because
Yeah. Different things inspire us to make creative things, I think. And it can be like the strangest thing, like you said, like just cooking a meal. All of a sudden you'll get an idea to do something else creative.
Yeah.
It just sort of frees up something in your mind, that something in your brain, that your creative process gets flowing, and it can be stimulated by all sorts of outside stimuli, environment, your friends talking, or something you're doing at the time. You'll see an object and you go, oh, it reminds me, I wanted to do this or that. I've always wanted to create this or that. And I think you can be inspired by all sorts of things.
Yeah, making new
That's why it's
connections.
important, I think, to also have, always have influences. Always allow yourself to be influenced by
Maybe choose
things.
your
Keep an open mind
influences.
and good or bad. To take it all in, and I think that can feed your creativity.
yeah, totally. I do feel that when you feel empty for creativity, is your body telling you that you need more experience.
Yeah, that's really, really great ideas on what the creative spark is. It's very, very
What about you?
fascinating.
What about you, kitty cat head?
Me?
What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything you
very
guys
Yeah.
have said is like um, pretty well rounded. It's pretty. It's making me think of it in different ways, in new light. For me, I would say like creativity is I kind of like to define it like working within bounds to ascertain a goal. So you have like boundaries, and whatever you're able to get out of the boundaries that you're within, I think that's what creativity is. Because if you have everything and you're able, and everything can be made, um, then that's not like creative. Like it's only the limitations that we have that allow us to be creative. What do you guys think of
So it's
that?
taking that extra step, to step outside the box and break the rules or whatever. Just become something else. I guess, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah. Like kind of
Yeah,
like
if you have some
MacGyver.
boundaries, it will. If you have some boundaries, it forces you to be inventive
Yeah,
and
inventive.
find your ways around.
Right.
Are there any moments that you're more creative than, and are there any moments that you're less creative? Is there
Hmm.
a time in the day that you feel more creative?
I feel more creative at night. I think
Yeah,
it's when you have the energy, when you have less distractions, and you still have the energy to be creative, and things are quiet. I think that's when you get inspired the most. What do you think?
yeah,
You were talking about the experiences, and
Hmm.
I always suck in experiences, but then the creativity comes later when you sit down quiet with yourself and think about everything you've seen, heard, done, and then the creativity comes.
yeah. And it comes like a rush.
Have you ever been inspired in your sleep? Like I've had lots of dreams where I've dreamed about not I guess inventions, simple inventions, and they come to my mind so vividly that I'll wake up and just start working on it, and I'll be able to do it. Like this one time, I was in a band, and I was dreaming about having a joystick, and just being able to move the joystick around and make the sound travel around the room. And the more I thought about it in my dream, the more it became vivid to me how to do it. It was pretty simple. And as soon as I woke up, I started wiring everything together. But that night, by the time we had band practice, I had it all working. I said, "Watch this." And the sound would go, I only had 4 speakers, but it would go around and around the room.
No
You
way.
could go left and right and back and forth and round and round. It was just something fun that came to me in a dream. But
Good. That's awesome.
things can
Incredible.
come to you like that.
Excellent. Yeah.
That
Do you
might be
think
your
like
original idea.
we get these like sparks of inspiration, like you were saying, by diving into the subconscious? And does the solution, does that come from ourselves, or does it come from like a greater part of us? What are your thoughts on this, everyone?
That's kind of what I was getting at before with like the like the fuel to create something oftentimes feels to me like it's like a outside force, driving me. Which does help definitely to get that if you're not like if you're taking a break. Like didn't Einstein like take like naps all the time, or there's some hack he had for like staying creative or open. I forget what it was. He was
Tesla
creative,
only
but
slept
not
about 2 or 3
artistic.
hours a day.
Yeah, that's
don't
a
know.
good example.
So I don't know. He must have had power naps. I guess he had
Yeah.
power naps.
Yeah, for sure. Little siestas throughout the day.
That's so difficult.
Yeah, here like
I love to sleep.
yeah, you know, in Spain and actually like when I was in Syria as well, they have a normal habit of around like noon, like at 12ish, everyone has a siesta. And all the stores will like
Yeah.
close, you know, and then everyone will kind of like take a
They
break.
do that in Mexico too.
Yeah, and it's considered like having
Well,
naps
usually-
throughout the day is considered like really good. I think it's like the natural way of things.
They
So,
did
yeah,
it too because it was the
napping was-
hottest part of the day, and they just wanted to avoid the hottest part of the day.
Yeah,
It was too darn hot to do any work, so they just took a little siesta.
so do you guys think that there's a human unconscious that we continually draw inspiration and vigor from? I think so. I think that human unconscious is all the things that we see, all the people we've spoken to, and you know, in today's day and age, we see a lot, we hear a lot, we speak to a lot of people. We have a little piece of the entire human race stored in our subconscious mind. So we have a lot to draw from. And yeah, like you make me think of, there was this artist that can't remember what his name, Lama Dalami, you know, the guy with like, you know, the melting clocks. Anyone know that?
Salvador Dali.
Oh,
Yeah, Salvador
Dali,
Dali, yeah, Salvador Dali, exactly. Yeah, he used to take naps, and then, you know, as soon as he'd wake up from the nap, he'd draw from his dreams. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I do.
so there really is
I've got the
something
problem, I
all
keep
around us.
I keep on sleeping. I've got this little notebook next to my bed, and if I wake up, have an idea, I write it down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah,
hmm
Definitely.
I think our brains are so full of things we've soaked in, in our lifetimes, that our brain, while we're at rest, while we're not working on, regular everyday things, occupying our brain with that, like how to cook dinner and how to go pick up the kids, or whatever we're doing. I think our brain's taking all this information, like, okay, if you take A and B and Q and D and C and put them together, you can make this. Our brains just accumulate so much, these little pieces, and I think
Making the
while our
connections, making the
Yeah.
yeah, our
connections between-
brains make the connections while we're at rest, and if we give it time and the space, I think our brains just make these connections, and we just go, oh yeah, you have that oh yeah moment where you think
Yeah.
of something that you can want to create or do.
it's so interesting how we've kind of, in a sense, well, I wouldn't, like how we've been created to have a mechanism that actually rewards us psychologically for making new connections. So we're actually, like, when you find a solution, or like you connect two things and you're like, oh, you're like eureka, like you're like, whoa.
Mhm.
It's like this like super crazy rush of like everything. And yeah, I mean, I guess like, how like the universe is continuously like breaking apart through entropy, how everything is like
Mhm.
basically like everything, order is becoming chaos in a sense continuously. Order breaks down into chaos, and then chaos reconstitutes itself through order. Order is only
Becomes
created
more order.
through chaos, right? So it's like we're these machines that find solutions throughout. Well, we're not machines, we're these beings that find solutions throughout the universe, and we're continually putting the universe back together, creating order. So is the
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too.
But now that I think about it, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, if we're creating order, that would mean that the universe is chaotic. But the universe is ordered. So I think, shoot, the more I think about it, the more unsure I am of it. What do you think about this thought, Ardub? I'd like to hear your ideas. Do we, like order and chaos?
I mean, you said that it's I think it's the second law of thermodynamics, the increasing state of entropy in the universe. So, but
Mhm.
I guess to me it's not super obvious, because it does seem like everything's kind of orderly on the big scale. That stars and solar systems and galaxies, and then there's lots of other galaxies, and it seems like it was more chaotic at the beginning when it's just all hydrogen and helium and hot gas and stuff.
Like it's settling down or something.
No, it's not though. I'm no physicist. I can't explain it.
So I
thinking
guess
about
it only exists through the medium of time. I guess order and chaos are just two points in time.
They say the universe is just going to keep expanding and cooling
Hey,
down
Wilson.
until it's just dead.
Hello.
Like a heartbeat, then I
Well,
guess.
do you think it will ever start to
Continuous
contract
cycle.
Oh,
again?
Wilson.
Like it'll
Hello.
split out to a certain point and then start contracting again?
They're saying now it's accelerating, so it should just keep
Oh.
going faster and faster and faster apart.
Wow.
The space just keeps growing.
We better hurry
Yeah,
up and contact those ETs right now before they're too far away to
Yeah,
get in
we need
touch
to
with
find a
them, huh?
solution with these guys.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's
Wonder
going
what
to be a
it
long
is.
distance call if we don't hurry up.
Do you think that it keeps expanding until we like bump into another universe, and then there's like a pop, and then both universes die, and then another
That's a very creative idea.
universe comes out of it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Wow.
Who knows?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. That's
I- I
interesting.
I think there's only one universe, though.
Really?
I think there's just the universe. Yeah, but it's infinite, so you can throw anything you
Infinite.
want out there.
Do you really think the universe is infinite?
Yeah, I think it has to be. There's no other way I could think of it. What's at the end of the universe?
The beginning of the universe?
A door, a wall.
Another
What's
universe.
at the end?
Wow.
Another universe.
Yeah, a big brick
Yeah.
wall. Well, what's on the other side of the
Universe,
wall? See, there has to be another side of the wall.
More
There
brick
has to be
walls.
more. Another. Okay, what's on the other side of that wall then? And
It's
and
brick
that one.
walls
And
all
that
the
one.
way. All the way out.
Just a bunch of
So
walls.
it's the brick wall
Walls
universe.
guarded. Yeah, it is. Wilson, what do you think about what's creativity?
Sorry. I didn't really know what.
What?
Let me think about it. I'll come back to you. I'll
Alright,
think
we'll
about
get
that
back,
one.
Rosie.
I thought we were talking about the universe for a
We
second.
are, but
You just hit me with-
we
Yeah,
were
we're
talking about
all kinds of
creativity, and then we kind of where
Well, we
does
can't
creativity
can't
come
create the
from?
universe. The universe is happening.
What if you like, okay, like when we say something is creative, right? It's always in the context of something done with a goal, right? Like when someone creates art and we say it's creative art, right? The person who created the art always has a goal, has an intention, and it's through what their art that they've made creative art. The goal was to create art, something with an intent. And when we're looking for a solution, when we're trying to make things, we always have an intent behind it. And
I've got a
that's
thought
right.
about art.
what do you
How does
think?
an artist know that the art is finished? Like, because
He decides.
obviously they decide the
Sign
ends.
it.
Yeah, they
Put your name on
they
it.
decide
When it-
when it's done.
When it becomes what they envisioned it to be, I guess,
Yeah.
or when they come to a dead end and can't do anything more with it.
Yeah.
And it's
Then does
done.
the creativity stop then? Is the creativity
Yeah.
stopping,
Yeah,
or
honestly,
what
like
way the
I
journey?
draw, I make art, I illustrate, and it's been a while since I've actually sat down and done it. I should honestly like sit and take the time and actually sit down and draw stuff again. One of the things when you're drawing and making art is like it's so hard to stop. It's like knowing when to actually stop and be like, hey, this is it, that's like one of the most, I would say, creative parts of creating artwork, because like when you're actually doing it, you just get this entire rush the whole time. You're actually working on the art. Every single line you make, it's a rush. So yeah, I think.
Have you ever
being
went
able
back
to-
to a piece of art and looked at it and went, I could have done better? Like,
Yeah.
have you ever?
Sure.
Yeah.
But in what way? I mean, maybe the artist accomplished exactly what they wanted, and you don't know what that was. You don't know what the intent was. So to you,
Yeah, but you're the
it just
artist. You created it, so you should have
oh,
an
your
intent.
own.
I don't know. When it comes
Yeah.
to actual
Yeah.
art, it changes. Like, you know, when you're actually creating art, the outcome, sometimes you're not really sure, and sometimes you can only do it once, right? And then after that, like you just can't do it because you're not really sure how you did it in the first place. You kind of just go with it. So
Like
that's one,
I'm
one thing
really
I've noticed
I'm
about
really
creative
interested in
art.
conceptual art. You know, I did conceptual art for a long time, and I studied it and admire a lot of conceptual artists. But it's the hardest thing to explain to people. You know, they say, "Well, that's stupid. That's not art. That's stupid." But it's conceptual art is art about ideas. It's not about objects. So conceptual art is more about the idea. It's presenting an idea through artistic expression, but it's not about that end product. It's more about the process of getting there. And it's so hard to express that and explain that to people because when you're done, there may not be anything. Like there was one piece called "Wall Stained with Water," and it was
There might not
it's
be
nothing.
anything.
Yeah.
It's just like it's finished. A
Well,
1 year
but
worth
see,
of work. Nothing's there.
it's conceptual. There's not going to be anything there, or maybe there was something there at one time and it's not there anymore. Well, too bad. It happened still. The artistic expression took place. Just because you missed it, too bad. All you have left is a little token, a record of what happened. You know what I mean? So you don't have the actual artwork to look at. You just have a record, a little note, a little object, something that says this happened. This is my idea, and this is what took place. It's not going to be a beautiful painting of a waterfall, or it's not going to be a beautiful still life painting that everybody can go, ooh, ah, look at the pretty colors and the forms and stuff. It's something totally different. It's a different kind of artistic expression, and it's really hard to explain that to people and get people to appreciate it because they just look at it and go, well, that's not art. But there's
Can you
so
kind of
many
like
different kinds
give
of
us
artistic
an
expression.
example? Like, are we talking books here, or like records of events, like history, or
Like this, the trees on the wall. Is that one?
is that conceptual art?
No,
Oh, it's
No.
just a bunch of trees on a
because
wall.
there was no conception involved. Okay, let's say I did something called some other artist, Vito Acconci did this. He called it following piece, where all he did was he picked out a person on the street and followed them around for like a couple of days, just followed them around.
That's creepy.
And yeah,
It's called stalker.
That's called stalking.
Yeah.
but you're not thinking that way. You're thinking about the
Oh,
thought
I see
process
I see
behind
the,
it.
Of
And you're thinking, what happens when you follow somebody like that? Well, they get nervous. What are the consequences? What kind of actions are involved? What are the thought processes involved? What does this or affect it? All these things come together, and that's your concept. That's the conceptual art. It's not you following someone around. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's the
It's-
act of following
It's the
someone.
thought process. Yeah. So it's a
Fascinating.
totally different kind of art. It's not representational. It's not object.
I think I've
oriented,
seen
it's-
some of this stuff before. Like I remember going into a museum kind of like space, and there was just a chair sitting in the middle of the
Yeah.
room.
Is that
Yeah.
conceptual art? Is that?
Well, it depends. What was there an idea behind it?
Oh,
sometimes
I think
art-
I think
is
this
it-
one.
I
I
learned
think
one
this.
thing.
Yeah, I think this one had like a yellow light or something, and it made everybody look black and white when you were inside
Oh,
it. I
cool.
think that was what it was all about.
One thing I learned in college is art is 90% bullshit. So what you do is, if you're a conceptual artist, you really have your work cut out for you because you have to explain something which is maybe nothing You have to explain it to somebody. How did that come to be? What was the purpose? What was your idea behind that? And a lot of great conceptual artists were just really good with words. Explain this to me. Okay, well, they have a little explanation. It's on the wall next to like maybe a rock and a bowl or something. And you
This
go,
this was the one that somebody put a urinal up on the wall
Yeah,
and
that's
called it
Dada.
art. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Dada
Yeah.
artwork. Is that conceptual art kind of
Dada's-
like these artistic movements?
kind of.
Like like
What about the banana?
it's-
There was a banana duct taped to a wall and someone ate it. Did you hear about that?
is that that's pretty funny.
Hungry. It's called Hungry now.
It seems totally absurd, I know, but you have to think beyond regular art, typical art that people are used to. The little paintings, the sculpture, the useful objects, things like that. There's other kinds of artistic expression, all kinds.
Yeah, just like really interesting stuff. Kind of like, have you guys
It
ever
is to
seen
me.
those like art pieces where someone will like sit in a room for like 20 days or something, or like there was one where there was this guy where he sat in a room that was continuously shooting a paintball gun all the time, and it was to simulate the fear and paranoia and threat that someone constantly fears when they're living in a war zone. And then someone on the internet took control of the gun and then started shooting him with the gun. Like they were actually able to hack the gun.
Imagine
How
you're
did they
sitting in
hack the
dark
gun?
and-
How did they manage that?
They turned it onto
That's crazy.
automatic. I'm not really sure how they were able to hack the gun, but they were able to hack the gun. So yeah, it's is it kind of like that same
Banksy?
idea? What?
Yeah, that's conceptual art.
You know
Oh.
Banksy?
Banksy.
The artist
Yeah.
Banksy? He's
Yeah.
like a
Wasn't he
It's
like
street art though, is it not?
like
Yeah.
nobody
yeah, but he did
knows
one that
who
was,
he is?
It sold not too long ago in a museum, and it was like an art piece, and it was like more like a sculpture, and it sold at auction. And right after the person bought it, there was a built-in shredder, and it like shredded it, like it just like shredded. Did you hear about that?
That's
It's
crazy!
No.
Wow, the guy built a
It
kill
just- it
switch.
shredded
in his
itself.
art. That's so like
Did that
It's
make
like-
it any less valuable? It's still art. Like whatever's
No.
left is still there. You don't think
Might
so?
make it more
I don't
valuable.
know.
It's
I bet
just like you guys
yeah,
know
kept
the artist of
the
who
stuff.
Banks. He's just some guy that nobody actually knows who the artist is, right? And he's just made art throughout the world, and and it's just like so
It's
interesting.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, it's like the Batman
went
of art. Like who is this guy?
Banksy.
It could be anyone.
I went to a gallery show one time with some fellow art students, and it was just a giant pile of sand, and next to the giant pile of sand was a shoe rack with a few pairs of shoes in there, and there was one little footprint in the sand, and everybody sat around and looked at it and looked at it, trying to looked at it. I said, "Don't you know?" I said, "They want you to walk in the sand." So I just started walking around up and down this dune of sand. Everybody's freaking out. "Oh no, you're destroying it." No, that's the intent. Look, it's obvious. They're practically saying, "Walk on here, walk on me." That's what the artist wanted, and so you were actually creating the art yourself by
Oh,
yeah,
taking part in this and figuring out what their intent was, and apparently I wasn't wrong because nobody came and arrested me or threw me out of the place. Or anything.
Well, somebody
now.
somebody made that mistake recently. I think it was last year. It was a couple that gone along, and the person had left all the spray cans and stuff sitting out as like an art
Yeah.
installation kind of look, and they gone along and picked up the spray cans to start spraying over the top of the artist's work. And then
Well,
somebody ran along and
Was-
stopped them at the time.
Uh,
That was quite
do you know if
recently.
that- Was it the artist's intent for them to do something like that, or do you think it was just
No, because
an
the artist
accident?
was on
They got upset.
the news, upset that a person came along and started spraying all over his work.
They shouldn't have left those cans laying around then, you know?
Awesome, amazing, guys.
Yeah, like all art can be taken, different ways. It can be taken the wrong way. It's that's part of the joy of art. You can
joy of
appreciate it
creation.
in many different ways.
So creation, creativity. So I think as sparks of the divine, it is our purpose, our goal, our intent, our mission to continuously create wonderful things throughout the universe. Wouldn't you all agree?
There is some great art around in Somnium Space.
Yeah.
We should do a tour again, maybe visit one of the musea again.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We should have like a tour of
Pieces.
art and like
I
talk
have a
about
show.
artists.
I just started a video show called Somnium Spaces, where I'm just going around,
Yeah.
showcasing different buildings. I have to do another one soon, but just if you have to really dig sometimes to find the ones that people don't know about yet. But there are a lot of interesting things going on. You just have to wander around and explore.
Yeah.
How
I
many
think
have you found, Spoofer?
that's part of being creative.
Just offhand, just like maybe 4 or 5 that I want to do. And I want to, we all know the ones that we're aware of, but I want to pick the ones that are more obscure and maybe you haven't seen yet, things like that.
Cool. Looking forward to
maybe
it.
don't even know they're there. That's the point. I want to pick things that you're not even aware of yet, and say, "Wow, that's such a cool building. I'll go check that out. I didn't even know it was there." And
There is some
Do you
gems
think? Do you guys think animals can be creative?
there. Oh, look at my cats.
yeah,
We are
They are
animals.
creative.
yeah, that's true. We are animals.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at birds. Look at the things birds do. I mean, with their
Yeah.
nests and things like that. They decorate their nests with feathers and little pieces of ribbon and things like that. They're being creative. They do that to attract a mate, but some
Wow.
birds.
Yo, I
will
bet
take
they
a
seem
nest.
I bet they feel the same creative rush that we feel when they create things.
Maybe they do.
That blows my mind, like thinking about that. That like like animals,
Yeah.
like imagine like any single feeling that you have, animals also have. When you feel happy, that same exact feeling of happiness. I know I've said this like a bunch of times, but every time I think about it,
Yeah.
like it really blows my mind. Like that the feelings that
They
we
can feel
have are
shame
the
even.
exact same things that they're all
Yeah.
like the feelings that we have are the same that animals have because we all come from one, right? So it just fascinates me. It's truly a
I had a
blessing to
dog.
be able to create.
I had a dog that I swore he was half human because he did the strangest things. But he would one of the things he did was he was a French poodle, and French poodles are supposed to have this little cute French poodle haircuts. Well, he wasn't like that. He just had a shaggy mane. He was just a shaggy dog, and he loved that. And one day, my dad took him to get a haircut, and he got him the typical French cut. He's like bald around the belly, and then his little fluffy tail, and his little fluffy ears and everything. And that dog was so ashamed. We took it home and put it in the yard. He ran behind a tree and just hid behind a tree. And he would look.
He didn't
at
stand
it
on
and
stand up on his back legs and cover his
No.
private. No, that would have been funny.
he didn't like that haircut at all. And he would do things like one time he ran away, which he liked to do, and I was chasing him down the road, chasing him, and he would get just enough ahead of me, and then stop. And he'd turn around, and I swear he'd grin. And you could see it bare his teeth. He'd just grin at me like, ha, ha, ha. And he'd run off again, just enough to stay ahead of me. He would do crazy things like that all the time. So, yeah, I think they have the same
Creative
emotions
fun.
we do. Yeah.
Awesome. Yo, jump in. Thank you guys for Wilson, can you move in over there? Yeah. Just move in. Yeah, perfect. Thank you guys
Over
for joining us this lovely evening, morning, afternoon, night, anytime it is out over there in the universe. And yeah, those were some amazing points you guys made about creativity. A lot of things to think about. It's really fascinating and incredible to be able to grow and learn together. Oh, okay, everyone, look over here. Wait,
Yay.
hold on.
Thanks for watching,
Look
everybody.
over here. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we hope you have a creative rest of the week. Keep creating. It's what you were born to do, baby. Hold on. Wait, I'm trying to. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, WooferBlast. 1, 2. Yo, look straight. What? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Come on, click. Hold on. Okay.
Are you smiling?
It's not clicking.
Can't tell if you're smiling or not.
Okay. Yo, 1, 2, 3. The Somnium Show, creativity. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, everyone. Come on. And thank you, wonderful viewers, for tuning in. Stay tuned for more wonderful discussions with WooferBlast, UltraLord, and the wonderful Somnium friends. Give it up for R-Dub, Wilson, and Sea Searcher. Yo, we love
thank
you
you
guys. Hope you have a wonderful night.
We always love having these
Wake
discussions
up on the
and talking
Somnium
about
Show.
things. Do.